the entire community, so. Any other questions?
Motion. Proceed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Okay. I have a motion by Holland. I had a second by Hill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, let's go to item 10, under new business. Motion to approve the State of Iowa audit report for the fiscal year end July 31st, 2012.
Well, that dries them out of here.
It's an enjoyable read. No, the finance, we sat down with the finance committee this last week. I don't think we had done that before, where we took the time to really sit down and review it, and we did that, and had a lot of good questions that we reviewed and looked at, and we talked about the report in whole, and towards the back, you get your list of all the different findings and things that the auditor finds, and segregation of duties, so on and so forth. A lot of the things are in there on an annual basis, just because they are. But we talked through all the different strategies of what we're looking at, and there are some follow-up things that we're gonna have to look at as a council as far as adopting policy, because some of the things that were noted were, like our use of handing out candy during parades. Is that I don't think they have a problem with it, just as long as we have a policy that addresses that. So we'll be following up. They didn't write us up
The
for
mayor
coffee
can't
this year
eat
because
candy during the parade, that's what
we're buying all our own coffee now, so they couldn't write us up for that one. So, but I don't know, Bob, if you had anything else to add. I didn't want to let us sick tonight, so or Gene.
I think the one part that we talked about, is, on page 9, was we clarified a little bit on that one. If somebody generally would pick this up and take a look at it, it looks like, we're operating in a deficit when in fact we aren't. What's happened here is the reason that it shows like a negative $50,988 is that we have used funds that were in our account for use already. So that it's not like we spent money that we didn't have. Our general large group of money is less, but it's because we've spent money, for example, the street projects and those types of things, so that it looks like we're deficit spending, but we are not. We're just simply spending money that's been sitting there waiting to be used.
Is that a transfer?
Is that a transfer?
No, it's just
It seems to be such a classy term.
well, it's just think of it this way. You've got $100 in the you have $100 in the bank that you plan to spend for a project, and you bring in 40, so that gives you 140, but you spend 60. So you're spending 60, but you only brought in 40. So it's a $20 deficit, but you had money saved. You had money that you're holding on to, that we had obtained specifically for doing some of these projects.
So I wanted to point that out, because if somebody takes a look at it and says, oh my gosh, these guys don't know, they're spending money, we have a smaller city reserve than we used to. It's just simply we're using money, and probably the next couple of years that number's gonna look bigger too, so we kinda want to explain why that number, because we're using those funds that we've had for a while to use on these projects. So I just wanted, that was one thing we thought was important to point out.
Which the auditor has told us we have to use.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. And there was one thing in here, on page 12, we talked about the revenue loan agreement, and we kinda all forgot that was the loan we got
Is,
I would make a motion to approve the state audit report.
I have a motion by Davis,
Second.
second by Engen. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to reports. Mr. Randy Miller. Chief Doug Cook.
Just to let you know, I've sent out a lot of letters in Des Moines and stuff, and everybody's done it, except we got one on, over here, and so, we give it to Bob this morning, it'll probably get mowed tomorrow. They had to wait for Tim to come in and mark the water shut off, cause Bob didn't wanna hit one of them with his mower, so hopefully that'll go down tomorrow. Finally, we can't get a hold of anybody, so we're just gonna go ahead and mow it, and bill them the 200 or 300, whatever it's gonna be. Just to let you know, everybody else is taking care of theirs.
We might need a chainsaw to mow that one.
Yes.
Hay baler.
I had a couple come in just yesterday and today I'll be working on, they're not mowing or other stuff, but we'll be working on it.
All right, thank you, Doug. Denny? Anita?
Don't think so.
John?
Well,
Oh, no.
Keep it quick.
That's not a good
we'll
opening.
try.
Now that you-
Keep it short, keep it city related.
Well, this last weekend was a very busy weekend for lots of people. Rash Ride and the tractor parade, and what else did we have? We also had Relay Iowa, which is a group of individuals who run from Sioux City, Iowa to Dubuque, Iowa. 336-mile run. They do it in teams, maybe a mile to 5 miles. Each takes a turn. But we found we host them with a rest spot and food and that sort of thing. It was a great bunch of runners this year. The volunteers, we had some great volunteers supporting this. Kathy Eilers and her first Presbyterian youth were rock solid, and during the full 12-hour window that we had for the reception, Laura Cook, Michelle Reck, Samantha Stelter, and Jenny Yoder-Bell were the volunteers that spent the time there greeting them, showing them where the showers were, showing them where they could take their their naps and that sort of thing. Finally, and certainly the most important was the Buchanan County Health Center's Therapy and Wellness Connection. That's the facility, the venue we used, that was given to us for that evening. It worked out and has worked out very nicely. Probably nobody really saw these people because they don't come in until like 6 o'clock in the evening and they leave after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of like a ghost scenario, but it was worked out to be really a great deal. This next Saturday, June 15th, 8:30, please bring your your equipment, working gloves, and your energies to the west end of the Liberty Trail on 20th Avenue across from the MHI entrance. We're going to pick up trash and perhaps clear some of the area. More to be done depending on the ground conditions, but it'll be from 8:30 to 12 noon, dress accordingly. And hopefully it won't rain this time. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Carter?
I'm gonna brag about being 15 minutes early tonight.
I wrote it down.
We're not paying.
Thank you. Bob?
Just one thing, I think tomorrow morning is the Main Street, Iowa, informational meeting at Bill's.
When does that start, Bob?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, and I would think it's probably gonna be an hour and a half, probably at the most.
That's what I'm guessing,
It should be very informative. I think, that there's some real interest this time around on it, and it definitely is something that if you are a business owner in the community or just a citizen, to come and listen and ask some questions. I think the last time around, we had a lot of misconceptions on
Yes.
costs and how things would operate.
Amen.
Hopefully, we can get a lot